Hey there, welcome back, Fragrance Fam. It's Akimi the Fragrance Geek, your friendly neighborhood truth teller. And today we're going to talk about the pink perfume problem because somebody had to say it. Okay, let me just say this problem is bigger than pink perfume bottles and candy notes. But I want to start by saying this: I'm not here to hate on the color pink, hate on florals, or hate on sweet notes at all. But we need to talk about how the fragrance industry is like churning out all these like feminine, soft, girly notes, and usually that note is vanilla or strawberry. I just want to talk about and break down with you guys how we got here and who profits from the pink perfume pipeline. And if that sounds like that's something you're interested in, as always, if you feel the vibe, make sure to like, subscribe, grab yourself a friend and a snack and a drink because this one's going to be a long one. And go ahead and bring them on in and let's jump right into it. All right, now, y'all. So let's talk a little bit of history on fragrances and perfume. So, back in ancient times and ancient civilizations, fragrances and perfumes were for everyone. Fragrances and perfumes were never gendered. Everybody from the Egyptian cultures, Mesopotamian cultures, even in India, perfume was used by both men and women. There weren't like a his and a hers, there was just fragrance, there was just scent. In ancient times, scent had a spiritual, a medicinal, and even a luxurious significance. It wasn't until the 20th century that we then categorized scents into his and hers. The real divide started around the early 1900s when mass production and advertising just took off, skyrocketed. It was not about your personality, it was genuinely about what your role in society was. Your fragrance needed to represent who you were in society. Women were marketed to as soft, delicate, floral, and demure scents, and men got to have the bold, smoky, and leather forward scents. This was deeply tied to the rise of modern femininity and advertising, thinking, like the housewife, the delicate object of desire. So between the 1950s and the 1980s, this was basically the golden age of gender-coded scents. Major houses like Dior, Chanel, and Guerlain were pushing the narrative of women's perfumes being, elegant, romantic, and pure, while men's colognes were equaling like strength, ambition, and dominance. These narratives were pushed hard, and I mean hard, through movies, fashion, and magazines, print ads. Perfume basically became like a scent personality test. Are you a delicate, soft rose or a powerful oak? But God forbid, you cannot be both. Not back then, at least. So, you guys, it's just branding. It's not biology. There's no actual reason why scents should be gendered, or like certain fragrance notes should be geared towards women, or certain fragrance notes should be geared towards men. Just a fun fact for you guys: vanilla doesn't have a uterus. Okay, and leather does not come with testosterone. The division between the two are just cultural and commercial. It's not natural or biological. Gender perfume is a modern scam. The ancients weren't worried about if they were smelling too girly or too masculine. That shit got cooked up when capitalism saw the dollar signs and dividing the shelf, and now we're still living in a pink cloud. So, what is the pink tax? The pink tax is when products marketed to women cost more than similar or identical products that are marketed to men. It shows up in razors, shampoos, deodorants, and yes, even perfumes. And the kicker is, it's not always tied to having better ingredients or a higher concentration. Often, it's just the branding. I mean, truly, sis, the only thing that's premium about that is the price tag and the packaging. I mean, perfume is genuinely one of the worst offenders. Take a quick look at many popular lines. The women's version of an eau de parfum is still a little bit lighter, a little bit fruitier, and it's more diluted in complexity. The men's version is often spicier, stronger, bolder, and sometimes even cheaper per mil. And don't even get me started on the flankers. It's like the brand said, let's go ahead and take some fruity pink juice, water it down some more, add a little bit of pink glitter, and just throw it out there and see what women love about it. The perception of femininity as delicate translates to pricing that's all about aesthetics and not exactly substance. Masculine scents, on the other hand, are often marketed as performance driven, intense, or powerful. Feminine ones are romantic, soft, dreamy, delicate, floral. Basically, one gets the boardroom and the other gets the bedroom. It's not just about the money, it's actually about respect. The system implies that traditional feminine preferences are less serious. The floral, sweet stuff isn't considered art in the same way that, like, the smoky, deep, resinous, or amber fragrances are. And when women do, choose or want those heavier, bolder notes, they're looking for them in the men's section, or they're told to buy unisex. I mean, literally, whenever I look for a fragrance or like I love a deeper, heavier fragrance, it's always marketed as unisex or straight out marketed as men. Anytime I want something deep, smoky, resinous, like ambery, it's unisex. You'll never see, I don't want to say never because I could be wrong. I very rarely see deep, heavy, smokier, leather clad scents that say feminine or are marketed directly to women. It's usually something that has like oud in it, resinous, amber, but it's marketed as unisex. Or even like some of the Middle Eastern brands, because that is a staple in the Middle East, or like those resinous, heavier notes for everyone, they just market it as well as unisex. There is no like, I feel like there's an agenda when it comes to certain Middle Eastern fragrances, but I digress. Just saying. The pink tax is for real, y'all. And y'all not just gonna see it in your wallets. It's literally in the way the industry values feminine expression. They charge you more for less complexity and package it as if it was a treat for us. So let's talk the pink perfume scent formula. I'm just about to lay it down super basic. I'm not about to get all complex. Notes like raspberry, peony, jasmine, vanilla, white musk, fruity floral notes dominate the shelves when it comes to women's fragrances. It's designed to be likable, not challenging, soft, approachable, compliment getting. They're supposed to be available for everybody to enjoy. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm filming at night, and my neighbors have dogs, and their dogs are barking. So if you hear that, please forgive me. I hate these effing dogs. And I'm a dog person. But I can't with these dogs. I'm so sorry to throw it off my train of thought. Where was I at? So, like I said, these scents are designed to be likable and, well received by all. So, why do brands keep doing this? They do it because everyone's buying it still. It's easy, it's accessible. No one is really fighting against something that's familiar to them. When you love a vanilla, you love a vanilla. When you love a strawberry, you love a strawberry. When you're into your fruity florals, you're genuinely and kind of honestly into your fruity florals. So, fragrance houses are going to go ahead and stick with churning those out. They're not going to change it up because there's not enough of us out there for them to switch up the vibe for. And plus, when you're marketing to millions of people and millions of people all over the world, safe equals dollar signs, y'all. You want to play it safe. You don't want to upset the, status quo. You want to maintain what your house represents because that's what people are comfortable with. You don't want to change it up too much because if you change it up too much, you might lose that customer base. Sweet florals, they also trigger like nostalgia and like positive energy and emotional response in a huge demographic of women and men and everything in between. The fragrance industry is not trying to help you express yourself. They're trying to make sure that nobody in that elevator complains about their fragrance. But here's the thing, sweet doesn't have to equal simple, and feminine does not have to equal basic, you guys. There's nothing wrong with floral notes or fruity notes. They can be beautiful and complex and monsters and beasts and like vibrant and edgy. But right now, the issue is the lack of variety in the fragrance industry. The market treats one very narrow idea of femininity like it's a one size fits all kind of thing. So listen, y'all, the pinkification of scent really flattens the idea of femininity. Real women are layered. We are moody. We have vibes. We are chaotic. We're ambitious. We are preserved. We are outrageous. Like, we are onions. We have layers, okay? We could be soft and strong at the same time. So, why are we being handed perfumes that smell like they're marshmallows dipped in flower water, rolled in coconut essence? Like, seriously. And then we're being told, there you go, girly. Enjoy, sis. No offense to any of the gourmands and the sweet, ultra fruity luxe scents out there, but like, I don't always want to smell like a dessert or a chocolate cookie, or like rose water. I would love to be a little spicy, a little moody, a little earthy, a little resinous sometimes. But sometimes fragrances aren't out there to match that vibe for women. It's also stifling the perfumers for being creative and like thinking outside the box when all the market wants is like that it girl vanilla. if that's all they're being told to create is like the next sweet, creamy, dreamy vibe, like they're not taking risks. They're not taking that space to like go outside the box, like I said. Mass market brands often play it safe, okay? They don't really push it like some niche and independent houses do. Niche and independent fragrance makers and fragrance houses, they say they don't give a damn. They're gonna do what makes them happy. They're gonna do what's exotic and fun. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, I love the way that like niche houses and independent houses are like, we're just gonna do it and just see what happens. We just rolling that dice and we're going for it. I mean, the pink scent formula is popular because it's engineered to be inoffensive, but also it's repetitive, it's restrictive, and it's low key boring, y'all. Femininity is not one vibe, it is multiple vibes. It is a whole spectrum. And the perfume aisle is stuck on the sweet and safe side, and it's time for us to go ahead and switch aisles. So, what about the women who don't fit the mold? The fragrance aisle genuinely assumes one kind of femininity, and it's soft, it's pretty, it's delicate, it's lush. I mean, that's the dominant narrative for perfumes right now. And if you're not serving that soft glam energy or giving like main character in a rom com, the perfume world acts like it does not know what to do with you. Like, seriously, what if I don't want to smell like a lace trim cupcake, Linda? Linda, listen, Linda. I do not want to be a frou frou kind of like girly girl all the time. Do I want to be in my feminine energy sometimes? Yes. But I still want to maintain powerful, edgy, and have that little extra bit of pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you want to smell like you're powerful, you might have to switch it over to the unisex side of fragrances. And I'm just like, how about we just offer it all around? But here's my thing. Why do scents even have to be gendered at all? Like I said earlier, that is a 20th century construct of, slicing it down the middle and saying these scents are for women, these scents are for men. It's just shameful. We assume that bolder scents equal masculine and softer scents equal feminine. But what if a woman is bold and what if a man is a little bit floral or soft or enjoys fruity fragrances? Then what do we do? Now, the invisibility extends to the marketing too. You very rarely see ads that show women who are older, queer, plus sized, introverted, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. You just don't see that as your, standard classic conventional, femininity in ads or in fragrance campaigns. It's always the same model and soft focus, wearing some kind of silk, smelling like peony dreams, But girl, where's the girl in all black with smoky eyeshadow and a black lip at? I want to know what she smelled like. That's what I'm trying to see because that could be me. That's not, exclusion. It's like you're erasing what other, feminine vibes are. And I'm not really just not comfortable with that. And just to say, and if you're a woman of color, it's very rarely that we're being represented like properly when it comes down to, scents and fragrances and in, the culture of the fragrance community. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. So here's my thing. Why should anybody have to choose between being a sugar plum fairy or a leather clad banker? Why can't I be a leather clad sugar plum fairy at the same time? Like, I want to combine it all. I want to mix it all. And I'm like, the fragrance industry really needs to get past like what's masculine and what's feminine and just go for what smells good. Guys, yes, the mainstream is still stuck on florals and pink bottles, but the change is happening and it's coming from us. It's coming from the fragrance lovers who are tired of being boxed in. Indie and niche brands are leading the way with with fragrance houses like DS and Durga, Maison Carvelli, Paris Monte Carlo, St. Clair, Born to Stand Out. Tons of other niche fragrance houses are serving us up scents that are weird, moody, earthy, wild, spicy, dark, resinous, like outright like ridiculous. Some stuff you're like, that's too far. Y'all went too far on. But like, hey, you giving me options. You're giving me options besides fruity florals, besides peony and jasmine and vanilla. You're giving me the option to try something new and different and exotic as a woman. They're not asking you to smell like an idea of femininity. They are inviting you to explore what your femininity is. They are saying, hey, we are giving you a buffet of fragrances. Pick what you like. Okay? Pick your plate. Okay? Put what you like on there. Pick up what you want, leave what you don't. And I love that about these houses. We got to be bold now because women are bold. We're not just sitting back knitting sweaters no more, okay? We're not waiting by the door at 5 o'clock for our husband to come home with a martini and slippers in hands, all right? We're bold. We're doing it for ourselves now. Women are stepping forward now. We are changing the narrative. We are not just the same old muses and faces of campaigns, okay? We're doing more. We are bringing respect to our names. We are storytelling. We are serving up ancestral memories and experimenting with bold new fragrance notes. Women perfumers are stepping forward. They are out here changing the game and switching up the narrative. More women are not just muses and faces of the campaigns now. You got the women being the noses behind the bottles. This is how femininity expands. By letting go of the pink fantasy and getting messy, getting layered, getting complex, and getting unique. Consumers are smarter now. They're louder than ever. TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, Instagram. People are learning. We are growing. We are educating ourselves on what we like, on our notes, on our brands, on our formulations, and we are calling out the BS. We're rejecting the for him, the for her binary. We're discovering new and affordable niche fragrances. We're saying no to the $140 bottles of pink sugary air. As we out here doing better research than the brands themselves when it comes to finding new fragrances and new fragrance notes to experiment with. Gen Z and millennials are pushing for fragrance identity, not fragrance conformity. They're building scent wardrobes, wearing oud to brunch, pairing sandalwood with lip gloss. They are choosing mood over marketing. We're no longer asking, will this get compliments? We're asking, does this smell like me? Can I identify with this fragrance? Does this fragrance exude my air, my confidence? Like I'm always saying, you want your fragrance to say me. You want people to go, oh, I smell it in the air. So and so must be here. That's what you want. This pink perfume fantasy might still be the default, you guys, but it's no longer the standard. Niche is rising. Femininity doesn't have to be soft and pink and girly anymore. We are the consumers that are changing the game and we are taking the narrative back. So, yeah, I'm not out here being anti pink. I'm anti pink only. I mean, sweetie, if you love your fruity florals, creamy, dreamy, like sweet, sugary scents, you better enjoy those. You better spray yourself down because I'm not going to be the one out here stopping you. Keep slaying, queen. But if you can, like, you really want depth, you really want that smoke, you really want that spice, that darkness, that deepness, you deserve a scent that gets you too. Perfume should be about freedom and not necessarily fitting in. You don't have to smell like what everyone's feminine identity and ideals are. You can smell like who you actually are. So, like always, guys, I hope I gave you guys something to really think about and consider. I appreciate you guys taking the time out with me and, getting into some real deep thoughts about the perfume industry. Let me know down below what you think about it. And as always, if you felt the vibe, make sure to like, subscribe, grab yourself a friend, and bring them on in. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.